everybody. Hello, hello. I'm Richert Belul. I am a certified high performance coach and author of Say It Now. And it's so happy to have Dean Jacobs here, who is also certified high performance coach. He is an author. He's a world traveler. He mostly, I'm just going to say this, you can tell me if this is true or not, but I love that really what you're up to is inspiring hope in young people. Is that right?
Yep. Absolutely, Sherry. That's what I do. I have a core belief that dreams are not for special people. They are for everyone. Sometimes when we're young, we think the only people who can have dreams are the most wealthy, the most talented, the most beautiful. That's a false narrative. They do demand the most you. And I think it's really important that young people hear that message early on, because otherwise they get this idea that only the most special people can have dreams. That's not true. That mindset, we need to lay the foundation for that mindset right from the get-go, right from the beginning.
Yeah. Well, and Dean, let's just launch right in here, because right before we went live, we started to have a conversation. And what I was saying to you is that, there are a lot of parents right now who are really having a greater influence on their children's lives than probably, ever.
Maybe. Probably planned or expected, and there's like all of a sudden they're homeschooling and they're probably Googling how to homeschool.
Right. And so what I want to start with you is, let's talk about where we are this moment in time, how chaotic and stressful. We were just talking about this. And what are some tips you have for parents on both how to care for themselves so that then they can be this strong foundation for their children right now?
Well, that's a really great question. And I appreciate that question, because you see, we can't really take care of or nurture people if we're not taking care of ourselves. It really starts from that fundamental truth. Otherwise, you're kind of a mercenary, or you're gonna burn up. What's going to happen? So you have to make sure we take care of this vessel, this incredible thing that we've been given, the physical body, and also this incredible mind that we have. And I think there's also, disruption is going to be part of the normal at the moment. It definitely is the normal right now. This is what it is. We're in the middle of disruption. And as I was telling you earlier, I chose a disruption in my life 20 years ago. Instead of having it projected onto me or put onto me, I chose a disruption. That caused some chaos for sure, and it caused some fear. But the other thing that it did, now the chaos, disrupt, or, oh my gosh, there's this big swirl going on. We should anticipate that there's going to be more of that. I love what Brendan always talks about. When you anticipate something, it doesn't surprise us anymore. So we shouldn't be so surprised at whatever the new surprises that would come. To anticipate that there's going to be more disruption. And then the other thing, the fear. The fear is usually the three fears that he talks about: loss, pain. Help me here, Sherry. Loss, pain.
Oh yeah, loss, pain. My mind is blank. Let's just go with that. Let's start with that one, and we'll get it.
Oh, the three pains. So we're afraid of losing something, or outcome pain, or it's going to be too much work, or something along that line. Okay. Yeah. But the other thing, and that's where everybody's focus right now, is on this big swirl. But the other thing that happens in all this disruption, if people really calm themselves and be grounded, do the meditation and all the while, it's also a teachable moment. There is a teachable moment in this entire, and the reason I know this is because I put myself through this process 20 years ago, and I finally woke up to this fact about a week and a half ago. Oh, this is not my first rodeo with a major disruption. I quit my job and sold my house. That's about as almost as disruptive as you can get, right? To follow a dream, to take a trip around the world. And and the teachable moment is that all of a sudden in all this, we're being given a blank canvas for us to determine, to become the artists of who we choose to create ourselves to be, versus all these projected expectations that we have taken on from the world that sometimes we don't want, or they're not true expressions of who we want to be.
I'm going to pause you for a second, because this is a really important point. And I'm guessing, tell me about this, but I'm guessing when you quit, it wasn't just any job. You had a really a high-paying job. You had a beautiful house in San Diego. You gave up the life that a lot of people, think this is the life you're supposed to have, right? And
correct.
How did you, when you did that, how did you allow yourself to sort of have that new blank canvas without, the stress, or how did you take care of yourself in that?
Well, I took care of myself by I had a huge commitment to stay true to myself. I mean, I didn't want to live a lie. I wanted to live the truest expression of what Dean Jacobs could be. I didn't want to play the role of whatever false narrative that the world or that I had taken on from the world. I really wanted to discover who is the authentic, most beautiful version of Dean Jacobs. And the only way I could do that was to disrupt everything I was doing, because I did everything. Sherry, you said it beautifully. I was doing everything I thought I was supposed to do in order to be happy. You know, $100,000 a year house, 3,500 square foot house in San Diego with an incredible girlfriend at the time, who I'm still good friends with. I mean, I had it. I remember having this epiphany. Well, I could see this could be my life for the next 20 years, but that's not what I dreamed about as a little boy in Fremont, Nebraska. What I dreamed about was to take a trip around the world. And so I did. I mean, the long story short is I quit my job and sold my house and took a trip around the world that lasted for 2 years, going through 28 countries, living on $10 to $15 a day, because I am not a trust fund baby. I'm just a guy who refuses to let go of his dreams. And so that's why I stand in front of 500 kids and say, when dreams are not for special people, they're for everyone. They not only hear it, Sherry, but they can feel it, because I speak about it in such a way that it's a truth for them, and they can hear the truth in that. It just cuts through all that resignation, that doubt, and boom. So you're asking about the parents. How can we take care of ourselves? Yes. First of all, I heard your question, but I'm bringing it back around.
Okay.
I want the parents to remember that they're role models for their kids. I want them to remember that their kids are looking at to them how they process it. That doesn't mean they have to be Superwoman, Superman kind of thing, but you want to be honest with people, and you can let them know that you're concerned, but at the same time, I think you also, but you know what, Johnny or Sally, I believe in my ability to figure things out, just like I've seen you use your ability to figure things out. And we're going to, you know what's going to happen? We're going to figure this out together. Now, I don't know what it's all going to look like, but I know we're going to get to wherever we're going. And not only are we only going to get there, you know what's going to happen? We're going to become better as a result of it, because we decided to step to the plate and swing for the fences.
I'm going to pause you again, because that was really important, Dean. I mean, I know you know that, but just I like to let things soak in, because sometimes when we're getting a lot of information, it just goes right over, right? And that what you were saying is, it's like, we don't have to be Superman, Superwoman. We don't have to pretend like we know all the answers or we know what's going to happen. But what you're saying is, you know, be a role model, be calm, really, sit down and really share with your family. We can figure this out. Not that we have to know anything, but that's where to me, where the true power comes from, and confidence.
Yes. And that's how we teach kids empowerment. That's how we empower them. It's like, all right, we're in this. I'm figuring this out. What would you suggest?
Yeah.
How we do something differently? Since we're since we're all eating, and I'm making stuff up because I don't have my own kids and I'm not married yet. I have a beautiful girlfriend a fiance in Ecuador, which is another story.
Another day, we'll go there.
but like, all right, instead of one person always cooking the meal, then you take turns. Right, I'm just making stuff off of my top. And if they don't know, then all right. If you don't know, I guess that's what we're going to have to figure out, how we're going to do this. And then you just make it a game. You make it playful. It doesn't have to be super stressful. And what's going to happen is, I believe, we're in a wake up call. I kind of think the whole world, not the whole world, but a lot of us have been in the comfort zone, Sherry, and we didn't even know we were in the comfort zone. And all of a sudden, we didn't just get a bucket of water on us. We got the fire hose put on it, and we're all uncomfortable. And if you've done some spiritual work, as we were talking about, there's a blessing in the uncomfortableness if you're allowed to give ourselves permission to embrace it and ask ourselves, how can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? And how can I use this situation to become better?
Yes.
Instead of judging it as wrong. Because otherwise you just polarize it, and you're just judging it all wrong, and you're spending a lot of time and energy wishing it was something different versus looking for the opportunity of it. I'm not looking for the silver lining in this cloud. I want to build a whole new cloud. I want to build a new cloud. I don't want just a silver lining. I want a whole new cloud. So I'm completely pivoting, not repurposing, because I'm clear about my mission to inspire kids to have hopes and dreams. But like, how my mission doesn't change. Just because I can't show up at school physically does not mean that those kids need me any less than they did before. So how do I deliver this coaching? How do we deliver our coaching? How do we deliver our services that are quite valuable so they serve a community that really is hungry for some sense of direction, so to help us make sense of things that don't make sense at the moment, or to be comfortable with the things that are uncomfortable.
Yes, I love this, Dean, because it's like what you're doing, I think, and I am a parent, and I know a lot of parents, and it's true that, for some reason, a lot of parents think they have to know everything, or they have to, they somehow have to have this semblance of like, I've got this together. But I think what you're speaking to is so important. It's talking about bringing kids into this process so that through this, they're learning just like you did. This isn't my first rodeo with disruption. Bless their hearts. These children are going to go through things in their life. And what you're speaking to is how do we show them that they're up to this, that they, and we're all in it. The other piece I love is the way you're bringing it to like, we're in this together. You're not saying to the children, like, figure this out yourself, but.
We're going to figure this out together. Because I believe in your ability to figure things out. I believe in my ability to figure things out. I believe in our ability to figure things out. And we'll all have different ideas, but collectively, you know what? It's because we love and care about each other, and we're going to take care of each other. We're going to watch out for each other. We're going to watch out for our friends and our neighbors and our family and everybody that we care and love about that's in our community. We are going to end up becoming better as a result of it. I call it waving oxygen on the internal flame. So we burn a little bit brighter. A candle does not lose light when it lights another candle. All it does is it brings up the light and illuminates even more. And if we go in with that intention, if we take actions that are congruent and consistent with that, magic happens. Magical things happen that are you don't even expect. For example, when I was going for a walk, by the way, parents, you should be exercising, you should be drinking water, you should be eating well. When I was going for my walk, a lot of kids, I'm in Fremont, Nebraska, they're doing chalk art on the sidewalk. And one of my symbols that I teach the kids in the school, way that I know, this is what I tell, the way that I know you're committed to making the world better, because that's how I end my stuff, is you give me thumbs up. So when I see you in the hallway, give me thumbs up. When I see you in the cafeteria, give me thumbs up. When I see you at the gas station, because Dean Jacobs has to put gas in his truck before he leaves, what are you going to give me? And they all units thumbs up. So I'm walking down the sidewalk, and there's a chalk art with thumbs up with my name underneath it, Dean Jacobs.
No.
I bawled. right. But they got and those are elementary kids. If they got that in here and they get it in here, okay. Then they're declaring to the world, all right, there's something going on. I can't control everything that's going on around here, but I can always control what's going on here. And this is connected to this. And that allows me to show up and be the best version of myself over and over and over again.
Oh, I love that. Did you take a picture of that by any chance?
I did. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, or post it in the comments. We all want to see it.
I will put it in the comments section. Totally made my day because I walked by them and they were drawing something. I go, hey guys, and I'm always, because by the way, I say hi to everybody, even those who don't want to say hi to me. I say hi to everybody because I'm always telling the kids, don't wait for how the world you want it to be. You be that way and let the world catch up. And I want to be in a world that's engaged, that's friendly, that's supportive, that celebrates our humanity. So I'm not always comfortable doing it, but that's my mission, my commitment is bigger than how I feel, right? I don't wake up to bed this way. I get up and say, this is how I'm going to make my contribution to the world. Anyway, I walked by them. They said, well, Dean Jacobs, we're going to have something for you when you come back. When I came back, they had drawn them.
Oh, Dean. And you know what? Yeah, I love that. And what you just said, my commitment is bigger than how I feel. Huge, because I think right now, personally, this is what I feel I'm called to. And I've heard a lot of people talk about this, that we're called to a place that's bigger than, I might wake up and feel like I just want to stay under the covers or, I'm scared too, or whatever, but that we have something bigger that we want for ourselves and for the world. And and what's so beautiful to me is that when I actually step into that, the energy comes, right? That it's like that feeling of, I don't think I'm up to this completely disappears. And I'm led, I'm fueled. It's there.
Yeah, you're taking action that's congruent with who you declared yourself to be to the world, to the universe, to the divine. And when we're in that spot, we step up to the plate, and we not only think, but we feel and we believe that we can hit it over the fences every time.
Yeah.
When we're there, but we have to do the work. You just don't like wait. I have to work on myself. I use Brendan's HP high performance planner. I write my 3 words. I'm doing it. That's all my mindset to prepare me. It's like the mental gym to get me ready to swing for the fences day in and day out, because our kids, they need us. They need us shine as bright as ever. It's okay if we don't have all the answers.
Frozen. Oh, there you are. You're back.
It's not okay if we stop. It's not okay if we stop, if we no longer take action. And by the way, if you need therapy, oh my goodness, get therapy. I'm a coach. I'm not a therapist, right? But if you need therapy, then get it. Do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself, so you can continue to grow into the best version of you possible. And I don't know, I'm not a trained. I'm a biologist by education. I lived with mountain gorillas for 7.5 months in Rwanda once, working for the Diane Fossey, the people who study the mountain gorillas,
Wow.
But I'm not a therapist. I just want to put that out there.
I love that. Hey, Dean, we still have a few minutes, and I realized you said something, and I don't think any other coaches have brought this up, and I think this is a great tool for parents and children, or for anybody, of course, which is the 3 words. How about if you introduce the 3 words, and let's put that out there.
Okay, good. Well, those are really, we can either we can show up in the world in a random way, or we can be intentional, have an intention. I always say that word intentionable. I make words up. We can have the intention of who we want to be. And it's not just, I actually have 9 words that I go through every day, because that's how I learned Brendan's process, or that he was sharing. And I like that. But my first one are present, courageous, and enthusiastic. I want to be here now. Just like I'm hanging out with you, I'm fully with you, Sherry, right now. So that way you're getting everything that I got, because this is what we need, in that because we can connect this way. We can't connect physically, right? I know that, this social distancing thing, but we can connect emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And we can still do that through technology. But we have to be clear. Present. I'm going to live from my heart. We need, which is just the opposite of being boxed in a little box affair. I'm always telling the kids, we're not supposed to live in little boxes. We're supposed to stretch and blow these babies up by dreaming big, by living tall, and doing our part to make the world better, right? And you have to have courage, especially in the tsunami of this negative narrative that wants to take all of our oxygen away from us and leave us feeling trapped with the limited perspectives. And enthusiastic, that's a reverence for life. That's an appreciation for this incredible gift of life that I've been given. So what am I going to do? What actions am I going to take that are a reflection, expression of that allows me to make the biggest contribution possible in this little window of time that God gave me?
Yeah, Dean. So what I want to offer to people is, maybe just in this moment, people who might be listening now or might be listening in later to the replays, is to really think about, what are the 3 words that sort of speak to who you want to be in this moment. You can change them tomorrow if you want, but also what a great exercise to do with our children, because then we're role modeling.
Exactly. That's a mic drop, Jerry. That's a mic drop. Boom. Exactly. Then we can role model for these kids, like, instead of like, no, this is not the big person conversation. This is a lifetime conversation. And if we teach them this young, if they get their arms around this young, all of a sudden they don't become the victim of, like, they put their stake in the ground and then they declare who they're going to be for the world, what they're going to be for life.
Right, Dean. I think, oh my goodness, I just love this so much, because first of all, I love how you just model enthusiasm. It's always, every time I've ever seen you live, right, you are so present. I feel it. You're always like right here. And you are, it's just so enthusiastic. And that makes such a difference. And I think when we're thinking about this period of time and who we all are and what we're going through, that could go so far, right? Just to have someone in front of you, or in your, you're listening to, or you're watching, who is enthusiastic, that lifts us. I feel like, just talking to you, I can feel, I'm just like, woo,
Well, it's contagious. This is like Brendan from the stage. I mean, it is contagion, and it's because the mere neurons and a lot of things that are beyond my pay grade to really understand. All I know is that it works, and it's a part of our human nature. So why not take on the role model responsibility of being that for your family, your friends, your community, and then in a time when it's really easy to slip into the other thing. I mean, I've had to struggle too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not Superman. I mean, I've had to fight against going back to old habits, because that's what happens when you're under stress a little bit.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You go back to the old-fashioned MOs. But at least I have the awareness and the coaching tools and an incredible coaching community that I'm connected with, so where we can support each other to continue to shine bright. This is my motto: shine up, be bright, show up, be bigger, make the world better. Shine up, like polishing the shoes so we can shine bright, cut through the darkness a little bit. Show up, be bigger, have an even bigger presence than we've ever had before. That's why I said instantly yes to what you want to do this, because this is congruent with, like, all right, time to show up and share the biggest version of myself possible, because that's who you are too, Sherry. That's who you are. Every time I seen you in the events and things like that, you're an authentic expression of that. So it's a pleasure to know you and call you my friend. And then what's the purpose of all this stuff? It's not to walk through life, pay bills, and die, but to do our part to make the world better.
Do you see Michelle Ham? Oh, I love you, Michelle Hammonds. She's saying, shine up. Love that, Dean. She's such a bright light as well. I feel so fortunate about this community. So, Dean, we have just a couple minutes, which it went so fast. I've just loved talking to you. Is there anything that, I know there's probably a lot of things we haven't had a chance to say, but is there anything that in this last couple minutes that you want to share?
Yeah, I think this can be our most promising moment. I think if we are willing to really step up to the plates and swing for the fences, a year from now, 2 years, or 6 months from now, or 10 years now, we're going to look back on this and say, oh, I didn't climb into the small box and let the box of fear trap me. I decided to use this to become the best version of myself. I've worked harder in the last month and a half to learn new skills, Zooming and green screen, all this, because I got 50 I've been inspiring kids for 17 years. I've been through 58 countries. I got probably 1 million images of photos and videos from all over the world. I just have to find creative ways to use those to continue to educate people about the world in a fun and engaging way. So they're there. But if we get trapped here, then we get myopic and we can't see all the possibilities. We want a healthy perspective. That's how, you stretch that box up, and then we reconnect to the better nature of our angels, our best humanity. All of a sudden we discover things that we didn't even know we could do as possible for ourselves and for our family and those we love, and for the community. And it becomes a game changer. You are if you're all listening to this, you are capable, you are stronger than what you know. As long as you're willing to keep stepping up to the fences and, it's up to the plane, and swing for the fences, you're capable of doing extraordinary things. And every time somebody does extraordinary in the coaching world or in the world I'm watching, you know what it gives me? It gives me a little more light from my flame.
Yes. Oh, Dean, that was beautiful. And, I love everything you've shared. I love your stories. I love your metaphors. But above all, you just show up with so much life force. I'm so grateful to you. I'm going to get off this call and just be buzzing with life. And I thank you so much for that. Thank you. What a joy.
You are a wonderful gift to our community, and what a pleasure and honor to know you and to share the light with you along the way. And anything I'm all in. I'm all in. Okay.
I love it. I love it. And I know you're going to post some things in the comments. You've got your picture to post, and you've got, I think, something that you want to offer people. So please feel free to go ahead and post in the comments. And thank you, Dean. I'm so happy to know that you're out there influencing all these young people.
All right. Bye-bye, sweetie.